Why budgeting fails for most people and a better system. You know what's hilarious? We've been told our entire lives that budgeting is the secret to financial freedom, yet somehow 90% of people who start a budget abandon it within the first month. 90%. That's a worse success rate than New Year's resolutions to go to the gym. So either we're all just lazy and undisciplined, or maybe, just maybe, the entire system is fundamentally broken. Spoiler alert, it's the system. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly why traditional budgeting is setting you up to fail, and more importantly, what you should be doing instead. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Traditional budgeting doesn't fail because you lack willpower. It fails because it's built on a foundation that completely ignores human psychology. Think about it. The classic budget asks you to predict your exact spending in 15 different categories for the next 30 days. Groceries, $250. Entertainment, $100. Gas, $80. It's like trying to predict the weather a month from now down to the exact temperature. You're basically being asked to cosplay as a fortune teller, except instead of a crystal ball, you've got a spreadsheet that judges you. But here's where it gets even worse. The moment you overspend in one category, even by $5, the whole psychological contract crumbles. You feel like a failure. The budget feels restrictive, like a financial straitjacket. And what do humans do when they feel restricted? They rebel. Hard. It's the same reason telling yourself you can never eat chocolate again guarantees you'll be elbow deep in a candy bar by Wednesday. Restriction breeds rebellion. Always has. Always will. Now let me tell you something that's going to sound crazy, but stick with me. The biggest lie in personal finance is that you need to track every single dollar. Every single dollar. Do you know how exhausting that is? It's like being on a diet where you have to weigh your food to the gram and log it in an app 3 times a day. Sure, some people can do it. Those same people probably enjoy filing their taxes and organizing their sock drawer by color. But for the other 99.9% of us, it's just not sustainable. And here's the kicker. It's not even necessary. Think about the last time you actually looked at your budget mid-month and thought, oh good, I've spent $43 on coffee. I have exactly $12 left in this category. Never. That has never happened. Because in real life, you're at Starbucks ordering a latte, not pulling up your spreadsheet to check if you have budget allocation remaining in the beverages subcategory. The friction between the system and reality is so massive that the system just gets ignored entirely. Alright, so budgeting is broken. We've established that. But let me show you exactly how broken it is with 3 real examples that'll make you wonder why we've been doing this to ourselves for so long. Example number 1. Meet Sarah. Sarah is a marketing manager, pulls in about $70,000 a year, and she's tried budgeting 4 times in the last 2 years. Every single time, she starts strong. Color-coded Excel sheet, categories for everything from utilities to dog grooming. Week 1, she's entering every transaction manually. She feels powerful, in control, like a financial genius. Week 2, she forgets to log a few purchases. No big deal. Week 3, she's 12 transactions behind, and the thought of catching up feels like homework. Week 4, the spreadsheet is abandoned, buried in her downloads folder, never to be opened again. Sarah doesn't have a spending problem. Sarah has a system problem. The system demanded perfection and consistency. And when life got messy, the system collapsed. Example number 2. This one's about Michael and his wife Jessica. They decided to get serious about money and created a detailed joint budget, 40 different categories. They allocated everything down to the dollar. Here's what they didn't account for. They have completely different spending personalities. Michael is a saver. He feels actual physical pain when he spends money unnecessarily. Jessica isn't reckless, but she values experiences. A spontaneous dinner with friends brings her joy. So what happened? Every month became a battlefield. Michael would see Jessica spent $80 on brunch and he'd lose it, even though technically she was under the total budget. The budget didn't bring them together. It became a weapon, a monthly reminder of their differences. They stopped budgeting, not because they were irresponsible, but because their marriage was more important than a spreadsheet. Now here's where it gets interesting. Example 3 is about someone who actually succeeded with traditional budgeting, and that's exactly the problem. Meet David. David is an engineer. He loves data, systems, optimization. He built a budget in a custom app, tracks every transaction, reconciles his accounts weekly, and has 17 months of historical data graphed by category. And you know what? It works for him. David represents about 1% of the population. The problem is, the entire personal finance industry holds David up as the model and tells everyone else they're failing because they're not disciplined enough to be like David. That's like saying everyone should run marathons because some people enjoy running marathons. It's survivorship bias disguised as financial advice. But wait, here's a question that's probably bouncing around your head right now. If budgeting doesn't work, what's the alternative? Just spend recklessly and hope for the best? No, absolutely not. The alternative isn't chaos. It's something smarter, simpler, and infinitely more sustainable. It's called the reverse budget, or, as some people call it, pay yourself first. And before you roll your eyes and think this sounds too simple to work, let me break down exactly why this system succeeds, where traditional budgeting fails. Here's how it works. Instead of allocating every dollar into micro categories, you flip the script entirely. First, you decide how much you want to save and invest each month, not what's left over, not if there's extra. The savings come first. Let's say you make $5,000 a month after taxes. You decide you're going to save $1,000. That's 20%. The moment your paycheck hits, that $1,000 automatically goes into a separate savings or investment account. Automated, non-negotiable. You literally don't see it. Now here's the beautiful part. The remaining $4,000, that's yours. Spend it however you want. Groceries, rent, Netflix, that overpriced artisanal coffee, spontaneous concert tickets, whatever. There are no categories, no guilt, no tracking every receipt like you're preparing for an audit. As long as you're living on that 4,000 and not going into debt, you're winning. The money you wanted to save is already gone, already working for you. You can't accidentally spend it because it's not available to spend. Do you see the psychological shift here? Traditional budgeting says no constantly. No, you can't buy that. You're over budget in dining out. No, you already spent your entertainment money. No, no, no. It's exhausting. The reverse budget says yes. Yes, you can buy that coffee. Yes, you can go to that movie. Yes, you have freedom. As long as the important stuff is handled first. It removes guilt. It removes decision fatigue. It removes the mental overhead of tracking 15 categories. But let's address the elephant in the room. Some of you are thinking, okay, but what if I overspend the 4,000? What if I run out of money before the end of the month? Fair question. Here's the thing. If you consistently run out of money before month end, that's not a budgeting problem. That's a math problem. You're either not earning enough or you're spending more than you make. And no budget system in the world fixes that. You need to either increase income or decrease major fixed expenses like housing or car payments, but for most people that's not actually the issue. The issue is they don't know where their money goes because they're not paying attention at all. And here's the secret. Once you implement the reverse budget, you naturally become more aware of your spending without the soul-crushing task of logging every transaction. Think about it this way. If you know you have $4,000 to last the month and it's the 20th, and you check your account and there's only $300 left, you naturally pump the brakes. You don't need a budget category to tell you to chill out on the takeouts. Your bank balance is the feedback mechanism. It's simple, it's real time, and it doesn't require an accounting degree. Now let me give you the exact steps to set this up, because this only works if you actually implement it, not just nod along and then do nothing. Step 1. Figure out your monthly take-home pay, not your gross salary. What actually hits your bank account after taxes and deductions? If your income varies because you're freelance or work on commission, take an average of the last 6 months or use your lowest month to be conservative. Step 2. Decide your savings rate. If you're just starting, 10 to 20% is a solid target. If you're already comfortable and want to accelerate wealth building, push it to 30 or even 40%. But be realistic. Don't set yourself up for failure by trying to save 60% when you know that's not sustainable. The goal is consistency, not perfection. Step 3. Automate everything. And I mean everything. Set up an automatic transfer the day after your paycheck arrives. The money goes directly to a high-yield savings account or gets invested before you have a chance to see it, touch it, or spend it. Automation removes willpower from the equation. You're not relying on discipline, you're relying on systems. Step 4. Live on the rest guilt-free. This is critical. Don't create artificial restrictions on the remaining money. If you want to blow $100 on a nice dinner, do it. The savings already happened. You've already won the month financially. Everything else is just life. Step 5. Review quarterly, not daily. Once every 3 months, take 30 minutes to look at your overall financial picture. Are you hitting your savings goals? Is your spending sustainable? Do you need to adjust anything? That's it. No daily tracking. No obsessive monitoring. Just a quarterly check-in to make sure you're on course. Here's what's wild. This system works whether you make $40,000 a year or $400,000 a year. The percentages scale. Someone making $3,000 a month might save $300 and live on $2,700. Someone making $20,000 a month might save $6,000 and live on $14,000. The principle is identical. Pay yourself first, automate it, then live your life. And let's talk about something nobody mentions. The reverse budget actually makes you better with money over time without trying. Here's why. When you're working with a fixed amount for the month, you naturally start prioritizing. You start asking yourself, do I really want this? Or am I just bored? You develop an intuitive sense of value. That's financial maturity. It's not about deprivation or restriction. It's about conscious choice. And the beautiful part? It happens organically. You're not forcing it with a budget spreadsheet. It's a natural byproduct of the system. But, okay, I know some of you are thinking, what about debt? What if I have credit card balances or student loans? Does this still work? Absolutely. In fact, it works even better. Here's how you modify it. Your savings rate includes debt payoff. So if you're putting $1,000 away each month, maybe $700 goes to debt and $300 goes to savings. The principle is the same. You're prioritizing your financial future first, whether that's building wealth or eliminating debt. Once the debt is gone, that $700 shifts entirely to savings and investments. The behavior stays consistent. The destination just changes. Now let's get real about something. Some financial gurus are going to hate this approach. They'll say you're being irresponsible, that you need to know exactly where every dollar goes, that tracking is essential. And you know what? For them, maybe it is. But for the 90% of people who've tried traditional budgeting and failed, this is the lifeline. This is the system that actually works because it works with human nature, not against it. Think about the difference. Traditional budgeting is like trying to navigate a city with a map that has 40 different highlighted routes, each with specific rules about when and how you can use them. The reverse budget is like having one clear highway with a destination already locked in. Everything else is just scenery along the way. Which one sounds less stressful? Here's another thing nobody talks about. Traditional budgets create a scarcity mindset. When you're constantly monitoring categories and seeing red numbers, you feel poor, even if you're not. You feel like you can't afford anything. The reverse budget creates an abundance mindset. You've already taken care of future you. Present, you get to enjoy life. That psychological difference is massive. It affects your relationship with money, your stress levels, your overall happiness. Let me share something personal. I tried traditional budgeting for 2 years. I had the apps, the spreadsheets, the color-coded categories. I'd spend Sunday evenings reconciling transactions like I was preparing financial statements for the IRS. And you know what I had to show for it? Stress. Guilt every time I bought something spontaneous. Resentment toward the process. I wasn't building wealth any faster. I was just making myself miserable. The moment I switched to the reverse budget, everything changed. I set up automatic transfers. 25% of my income vanished into investments the day I got paid. The rest? I spent it. Sometimes wisely, sometimes on dumb stuff. But my net worth kept climbing because the important part was handled. I wasn't relying on discipline at the end of the month. I was relying on automation at the beginning of the month. That one shift changed everything. So here's your quick recap because I know I've thrown a lot at you. Traditional budgeting fails because it fights human psychology. It demands perfection, creates restriction, and turns money management into a part-time job. The reverse budget flips the script. You save first, automate it, then live on the rest guilt-free. No categories, no tracking every dollar, no monthly shame spiral when you overspend on tacos. You check in quarterly, adjust if needed, and let the system run in the background while you live your life. This isn't about being irresponsible. It's about being smart with your energy and attention. Your willpower is a finite resource. Stop wasting it on a budgeting system designed to make you feel bad. Start using a system designed to make saving effortless and spending enjoyable. Alright, here's what I want you to do right now. Don't just watch this video and move on. Actually implement this. Today, go into your bank app. Set up an automatic transfer for 10% of your next paycheck into a separate savings account. Just 10%. You won't even miss it. Do that one thing and you've already lapped 90% of people who are still trying to make traditional budgeting work. And here's my question for you, because I'm genuinely curious. What's been your biggest struggle with budgeting? Have you tried the traditional method and failed? Or are you one of the rare people it actually works for? Drop a comment below and let me know, because I've read every single one and I want to hear your story. If this video helped you rethink how you manage money, smash that like button and subscribe, because I'm dropping a new video every week on financial strategies that actually work for real humans, not just spreadsheet robots. And if you want to go deeper, I've got a free guide on setting up your reverse budget system step by step. Link is in the description. Grab it, use it, and start building wealth without hating your life. Now go automate your savings and take back control of your money. I'll see you in the next one.